Oh, that burns.
The screaming started in Observation Room 7. Dr. Xwarath, our lead xenobiologist, had just watched the human eat. Not the act itself, we'd observed hundreds of species consuming nutrients. But what the human ate. And more importantly, what the human said while eating it. Oh man, I love spicy food. The burn means it's working. The burn means it's working. The human was describing pain as a feature. That was our first sign that something was fundamentally wrong with humanity. But we didn't understand. Not yet. We thought it was a translation error. A cultural misunderstanding. We were so catastrophically wrong. By the time we understood what Earth really was, 3 species had already filed for isolation protocols. 2 ambassadors required psychological intervention. And the Galactic Council. The Galactic Council activated the Deathworld Doctrine for only the 4th time in recorded history. This is that story. My name is Krelnoth. I'm a xenoanthropologist from the Archival Collective, and I was part of humanity's first contact integration team. When the human ship, Voyager's Hope, entered Council space, we were excited. A new species is always cause for celebration. They'd achieved FTL travel independently, a mark of intelligence and peaceful intent. Their initial broadcasts were friendly, mathematically sound, rich with art and music. They seemed perfect. I was assigned as cultural liaison. My specialty is integration assessment. I've welcomed 47 species into the galactic community. I thought I knew what to expect. The human delegation arrived at Station Kepler 442. 4 representatives. They called themselves Captain Sarah Chen, Dr. James Okonkwo, Engineer Maria Santos, and linguist David Kim. They looked harmless. Bilateral symmetry. 2 arms, 2 legs. Binocular vision. Mammalian, we guessed. They smiled a lot, exposing their teeth, which we later learned was a greeting, not a threat display. That should have been our first clue. The integration process is standard. Medical examination. Biological assessment. Environmental compatibility testing. We need to understand their needs, atmosphere, gravity, temperature tolerance, dietary requirements. Dr. Xwarath led the biological assessment. He's Plixian, meticulous, brilliant, 6 doctorate equivalents. If anyone could understand a new species, it was him. He started with basic questions. What is your homeworld's atmospheric composition? Captain Chen answered cheerfully, 78% nitrogen, 21% oxygen, about 1% other gases. Standard. Perfectly normal. And your gravity? 9.8 meters per second squared. Within expected range. Temperature range of your habitation zones? We live pretty much everywhere, Engineer Santos said with a shrug. From about -50 Celsius to +50 Celsius. Some people handle more extreme temps, but that's the comfortable range. Dr. Xwaratha's translation implant glitched. He asked her to repeat. She did. Same numbers. That's a 100-degree range. To put that in perspective, my species, the Archival Collective, operates in a 12-degree comfort band. 12. Most species manage 20, maybe 30 degrees. But we attributed it to adaptable technology. Protective clothing. It seemed reasonable. Then Dr. Xwarath asked about their evolutionary niche. We're persistence hunters, Dr. Okonkwo said. Endurance specialists. We evolved to chase prey until it collapsed from exhaustion. You have to understand, pursuit predation exists in the galaxy. But it's rare. Most predators are ambush hunters. Efficient. Economical. You don't waste energy. But humans? Humans describe a hunting method where they would follow prey for hours. Days, sometimes. Just walking after it. Not even quickly. Just constantly. Never stopping. Until the prey's body gave out. The prey would be running, fleeing at full speed, exhausting itself. And the human would just keep walking. And walking. And walking? Dr. Okonkwo called it the most efficient hunting strategy on Earth. Efficient? They called it efficient to terrify something to death. The real horror began during the medical examination. Standard procedure: we needed to understand human physiology to ensure compatibility with station environments. Dr. Xwarath prepared the scanning suite. Non-invasive. Completely safe. We'd done this thousands of times. Captain Chen volunteered to go first. The scan revealed anomalies. Her skeletal structure was dense. Incredibly dense. Dr. Xwarath checked the scanner calibration 3 times. Captain Chen, he asked carefully, what is the gravity of your homeworld? 9.8 meters per second squared, she repeated. Same as I said before. That didn't make sense. Her bone density suggested evolution under at least 15 to 18 meters per second squared. Gravity levels we classified as punishing. Planets where the Council had specifically noted hostile to biological development. Are you certain? Dr. Xwarath pressed. She laughed. Yeah, pretty sure. It's the planet I've lived on my whole life. Then Dr. Okonkwo added, oh, Earth's gravity is actually pretty mild compared to some planets we've visited. We've had people working in 1.5 times Earth gravity for months. They adjust. Dr. Xwarath moved on, desperately hoping this was an outlier. The scan showed Captain Chen's cardiovascular system. A closed circulatory system with a 4-chambered heart. Normal enough. But the pressure. Your blood pressure, Dr. Xwarath said slowly, is sufficient to pump fluid upwards of 2 full body lengths against gravity. Yeah, Captain Chen said. Otherwise blood wouldn't reach our brains when we stand up. My species has 3 hearts. 3. And we can barely manage 1.5 body lengths. Humans were operating at pressures that would rupture our vessels. And they considered it normal? But that wasn't even the disturbing part. The scan revealed something else. Something that made Dr. Xwarath's manipulator tendrils go rigid. Captain Chen, he whispered, why do you have a chemical compound in your blood that is corrosive to cellular structure? She looked confused. What do you mean? This molecule. He displayed it. It's toxic. It breaks down organic material. It should be poisoning you. Dr. Okonkwo leaned over to look. Oh. That's just oxygen. Just oxygen. Just oxygen. You have to understand what he was saying. Oxygen is reactive. Violently so. It's what causes metal to rust, organic matter to decay. On most worlds, oxygen is industrial waste, a byproduct of photosynthesis that gets sequestered away. And humans breathed it. Not just breathe it, they require it. They pump it through their entire body. They use it to break down nutrients. They've built their entire biology around a molecule that destroys organic tissue. Dr. Okonkwo explained it cheerfully, yeah, oxygen is pretty reactive. That's why it's so useful for metabolism. We get way more energy from our food than anaerobic processes would provide. But, Dr. Xwarath stammered, the cellular damage. Oh, we have antioxidants for that. And our cells are constantly replacing themselves. The oxidative damage is just part of life. Just part of life. They were describing slow, constant cellular destruction as normal. Dr. Xwarath's manipulator tendrils were trembling now. How? How long do your cells survive before this oxidative damage kills them? The humans looked at each other. Depends on the cell type, Dr. Okonkwo said. Red blood cells last about 4 months. Skin cells replace themselves every few weeks. Some neurons last our whole lives. And when a cell dies, we make a new one. Dr. Xwarath was stunned. Simple. Obvious. We make a new one. As if continuous cellular death and regeneration was just a thing. A feature. Not a bug. Dr. Xwarath had to sit down. That's when Engineer Santos asked, "Is everything okay? You look unwell." The human was concerned about the doctor's health. Dark irony. We thought medical was the worst of it. Then came the dietary assessment. Understanding a species' nutritional needs is critical for integration. We needed to know what humans ate so we could accommodate them on council stations. Linguist David Kim provided the list. We're omnivores, he explained. We eat both plant and animal matter. Not uncommon. Many species are opportunistic feeders. We need proteins, carbohydrates, fats, vitamins, minerals, and water. Standard biochemistry. Then he added, almost as an afterthought, "Oh, and we eat a lot of things that are poisonous." Record scratch moment. I'm sorry, what? Poisonous, he repeated. Well, technically toxic. But we like the taste. Dr. Xwarath, who was still recovering from the oxygen revelation, looked up slowly. Please elaborate. Kim pulled up a holographic display. Images of Earth foods appeared. Okay, so this is capsaicin. It's a neurotoxin that evolved to prevent mammals from eating peppers. It causes a pain response by activating heat receptors. We put it on everything. Dr. Xwarath stared at the display. You consume a substance that causes pain? Oh yeah, Engineer Santos interjected enthusiastically. Some people compete to eat the hottest peppers they can find. It's fun. Fun. They were describing voluntary pain consumption as entertainment. Kim continued, this is ethanol. It's a nervous system depressant and cellular toxin. We drink it recreationally. This is caffeine. It's an insecticide. We drink it every morning to wake up. This is theobromine. It's cardiotoxic to most species. We make candy out of it. These are alliums, onions and garlic. They contain sulfur compounds that are toxic to most Earth species. We use them as the base for almost every meal. Horrified silence. Each revelation was worse than the last. They weren't just tolerating poisons. They were seeking them out. Cultivating them. Building entire culinary traditions around them. Captain Chen noticed our horror. Is this a problem? She asked. Captain, I said carefully, you've just described a diet that would kill most species in the galaxy. Multiple times over. She blinked. Really? The capsaicin alone would cause most species to go into shock. Oh. She thought about it. Well, we did evolve to be pretty adaptable. Earth has a lot of stuff that wants to kill you, so we learned to eat it first. Eat it first. As if the logical response to being surrounded by poison was to consume it. That's when Dr. XY asked the question that changed everything. Captain Chen, you've mentioned Earth has many hostile elements. What is your planet's classification? On our scale, Class 1 is a garden world, minimal threats, stable biosphere. Class 3 is standard habitability. Class 5 requires adaptation technology. What class is Earth? The humans looked at each other uncertainly. We don't really have that classification system, Captain Chen said slowly. What would you describe Earth as? Dr. XY pulled up the planetary data the humans had provided. Atmospheric composition. Gravity. Seismic activity. Weather patterns. Biodiversity. His manipulator tendrils went rigid. He checked the data again. And again. That's not possible. What's not possible? I asked. Dr. XY's voice was shaking. According to this data, Earth is a Class 12 Deathworld. Class 12. For context, the highest classification any council species had evolved on was Class 6. And that species, the Drexeli, were considered the hardiest in the galaxy. They could survive temperature swings of 40 degrees. Tolerate gravity variations of 20%. They were legends. Class 12 was theoretical. A classification that existed only in academic models. It described planets so hostile that complex life shouldn't be possible. And humans evolved there. Within hours, the data had reached the Galactic Council. Within a day, the Council convened an emergency session. I was summoned as a witness. So were Dr. XY and the entire integration team. The Council chamber was chaos. Representatives from 800 species, all talking at once. The holographic display showed Earth spinning slowly, covered in red warning indicators. High Counselor Vexadh called for order. We have received troubling data regarding species 1401, designated humanity. Dr. XY, please present your findings. Clinical, terrified presentation. Dr. XY's report was damning. Earth's axial tilt of 23.5 degrees causes extreme seasonal variation. Temperature swings of over 80 degrees in some regions. The planet experiences regular seismic events, earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, tsunamis. Weather patterns include electrical storms with millions of volts of discharge, rotating wind vortexes called tornadoes with wind speeds exceeding 400 km per hour, and tropical cyclones spanning hundreds of kilometers. The planet's biodiversity includes millions of species, many of which produce neurotoxins, hemotoxins, cytotoxins, and other lethal compounds. Microbial life includes thousands of pathogenic organisms capable of causing systemic failure. The atmosphere contains 21% oxygen, sufficient to support combustion and cause rapid oxidation of organic materials. Gravity is 9.8 meters per second squared, nearly triple the galactic average. And despite all of this, humans consider their planet mild. The Council stunned silence. Counselor Vexadh's translator was sparking. Repeat that. They consider Earth a pleasant place to live. When asked about hostile regions, they described their polar zones, where temperatures reach -50 Celsius, and their deserts, where temperatures exceed 50 Celsius. But then they added. Dr. XY's voice broke. People live there anyway. Chaos erupted. The council chamber exploded into argument. This is impossible. No species could evolve under those conditions. They must be using advanced protective technology. That's when Captain Chen's voice came over the comm. She'd been listening from the human ship. "Excuse me, Council. I can explain." High Counselor Vex-80H granted her permission to speak. "Earth is dangerous," Captain Chen said calmly. "We know that. But it's also beautiful. And we learned to survive it." "How?" someone demanded. "By adapting," she said simply. "When the weather tried to kill us, we built shelter. When predators hunted us, we learned to hunt back. When plants poisoned us, we learned which ones were food and which ones were medicine. Sometimes they were both. We learned to use fire, even though it could burn us. We learned to swim, even though we could drown. We learned to climb, even though we could fall. Earth didn't make us weak. It made us careful. And creative. And stubborn. You see a death world. We see home." The council didn't know how to respond. Then Counselor Thexril, a Drexeli, remember, the hardiest species in the galaxy, spoke. "Captain Chen, with respect. My people evolved on a Class 6 world. We are considered exceptionally resilient. We can tolerate what others cannot. But Earth is twice that classification. What you're describing isn't adaptation. It's. He couldn't find the word. Captain Chen found it for him. "Survival," she said quietly. "It's just survival. You do what you have to do." The council requested a demonstration. They wanted to understand human capabilities. To see if the data matched reality. The humans agreed. They set up a simple endurance test. The kind we use to assess physical capacity. A standard obstacle course, climbing, running, problem-solving under time pressure. Representatives from 5 species attempted it first, to establish baselines. The Drexeli completed it in 47 minutes. Exceptional. Then Dr. Okonkwo, the human, attempted it. He finished in 31 minutes. The council was impressed but not shocked. Humans were from a high-gravity world, physical capability was expected. Then Dr. Okonkwo said, "Can I try it again?" They became confused. "You've already completed it," Counselor Vex-80H said. "I know. But I think I can do better." The Drexeli representative made a gesture of confusion. "You would need time to recover. The course is designed to push biological limits." Dr. Okonkwo smiled. "I'm good. Let me go again." He ran the course a second time. 28 minutes. Then he asked to go again. The council was baffled. The Drexeli representative had needed 3 hours to recover before even considering a second attempt. Dr. Okonkwo ran it a third time. 26 minutes. Faster. They were marveled and confused at the same time. "How?" Counselor Thexril demanded. "Your muscles should be depleted. Your energy reserves exhausted. How are you getting faster?" Dr. Okonkwo was breathing hard but grinning. "Adrenaline, probably. And I'm figuring out the best path. Humans are pretty good at pattern recognition. But the physical toll. Oh, I'll be sore tomorrow," Dr. Okonkwo laughed. "But that's fine. I'll recover." That's when we understood. Humans didn't just survive their death world. They thrived in conditions that would kill us. The persistence hunting. The pain tolerance. The adaptation to poison. The oxygen-based metabolism that gave them incredible endurance. It wasn't that they were trying to be frightening. They were just normal. For Earth. The Galactic Council invoked the Deathworld Doctrine. Not as a ban. Not as a restriction, but as a protection for us, not them. The doctrine states, species evolved on Class 10+ worlds possess capabilities that may be misinterpreted as hostile by standard classification species. Integration requires specialized protocols. In other words, humans weren't dangerous. We were just fragile. Captain Chen put it best in her final address to the Council. We don't want to scare you. We don't want to hurt you. We just want to be part of something bigger than ourselves. Yes, Earth is harsh. Yes, we evolved to survive things that would kill you. But that same evolution taught us something else: cooperation, community, compassion. Because on a death world, you need friends. The Council approved humanity's integration. With modifications. Human-rated safety equipment. Specialized habitation zones. Educational programs to help other species understand human capabilities without fear. And you know what happened? 3 months later, when the Hive Collective attacked the Outer Rim, humanity volunteered to help. They sent soldiers, medics, engineers. And the galaxy learned what Dr. XY had tried to tell the Council. Humans from a death world weren't the threat. They were the solution. Because when you've spent 10,000 generations learning to survive the impossible, nothing in the galaxy can stop you. The Council called Earth a nightmare planet. Humanity called it home. And in the end, that made all the difference. If you enjoyed this story, hit that subscribe button. We've got dozens more HFY tales about humanity's place in the galaxy. Drop a comment: what's the most Deathworld thing about Earth that aliens would find terrifying? And remember, we're not scary. We're just from Earth.